back to my YouTube channel. My name is Angeli and this is Alpha Human Talks, where we have talks and conversations that can and should lead to actions. Today I want to speak about how you can avoid entanglement with your boss, also known as how you can avoid dating your boss, also known as avoiding sexual harassment in the workplace. It's a menace. Sexual harassment is a menace. It's happening everywhere. Workplace is relative, I understand that. But it's a menace and it's happening constantly. It's happening to everyone. But so far, the conversations I've had them with young women and women. So those are the people that I'll be trying to talk about today regarding how you can avoid it. You know, before I even go into it, you even need to understand what sexual harassment is. Our culture has just absorbed certain learned behaviors that are so detrimental, you know, and when people make remarks and make some kind of comments, you just accept it because you think it's acceptable. So the first key thing is that you and I need to really understand what sexual harassment is. What does it entail? What are the gestures? What are the behaviors? What are the things that actually constitute sexual harassment? So you and I can know that this right here is not working, is sexual harassment. Because there are people who have spoken, they'll be like, oh no, I've never been sexually harassed. And then when I begin to tell them what it really is and all the scenarios and all the conditions, they'll be like, oh my God, I have been sexually harassed. There you go. So first of all, the education about sexual harassment is a learned behavior. It has institutionalized itself and it has become part of a menace, in fact, menace to society. Now, I wish I could share some kind of data with you to say, you know, this is the amount of people who have been sexually harassed, but I don't have that data. What is there right now is 1 in 3 men are being raped, gender-based violence as an umbrella. But sexual harassment itself at work, the data is still being generated. A lot of women speak about it, but you know how it is with our culture. Culture of silence, culture of shame. And who gets blamed when these kind of things happen? Not the predator, but the victim/survivor is the person that gets blamed. So I want us to talk about it because when a young woman, a young lady, a woman is in a work environment, maybe she's worked hard, she got this job, and you now have a man breathing down her neck, it can be so devastating. That constitutes emotional abuse. It constitutes mental abuse. It also constitutes financial abuse. All she wants to do is just get there, do her job and deliver. But predators feel like you have to pay them back. For those that connected you to the job and things like that, you have to pay them back. That is so wrong and it should stop. So how can you and I actually begin to identify how to save each other? And for those who want to avoid it totally, what are the things that you can do? I've spoken to a lot of young women and women, and these are a few things that we came up with. It's not an exhaustive list. There are more that I will be talking about. But first things first, trying to establish boundaries. Yes, I understand. In the Nigerian country that you and I belong to, people don't even know what boundaries is, let alone defining it. But define your boundary. If something happens, you don't want it, cut it there. I don't want this. This is not how I want it. This is not where I'm going to. You just have to try to make sure you define your boundaries. There's no chit chat, no over joking, no. Know why you are there for what you are there, and keep it short and straight and very, very professional. And I would say, do not make any assumptions about anything. When a man or woman throws something at you, don't assume. You know what? If you spell assume, ASSUME. Assume, it makes an ass out of you and me, and we don't want to be asses, do we? So the thing is, do not assume. Explain to me exactly what you mean by so and so. Let me see if I understand you correctly. Do not make any assumptions. Break it down. Another thing I would say is try not to be vulnerable and be talking about your issues all the time in some certain places. Predators are like sharks. When a blood drops in an ocean, they can sniff it a mile away. They can just sniff it and just like, oh my gosh, she needs it. And it's so unfortunate that people cannot help you or support you from the bottom of their heart. You just have to get something back. It's so unfortunate. But that's the society we live in for now until our laws change. Speaking about laws, Lagos State is still the only state that has sexual harassment as a felony and has a jailable term of 3 years. I don't know about the other states. If you know, please share with me. So don't be vulnerable. Oh, my sister. Oh, my this. Oh, my that. Oh, I don't have money to do this. Oh, I don't have money to do that. They can sniff that. And then they can use that to entangle you into things you're not even ready for. So please try and avoid that. Then have options. I know that having options can be quite relative. I remember speaking to a friend one time and she was like, oh, when somebody is privileged, you can have options when you're privileged. I feel like that's so unfair. It doesn't mean that, you have to now not talk about it. Having options is very relative. But if you're in a work environment and the things begin to happen, begin to think about a way out of that situation. In a work environment, I want to say that if that kind of thing is happening to you, document it. Document. Date, time, description, witnesses, what you were wearing, who was there, everything that happened. Document it. I would also say report to human resource. Oh, human resources are supposed to be business partner, I know, but some human resources, they really, really need Jesus, because at the end of the day, what's the point of reporting to human resource department that won't even help you? So human resource department should have sexual harassment policies in place to protect their staff. Human resource, you are there for the resource. Yes, you are. You are there because you're supposed to give them an environment to make them operate at their optimum level. So whenever somebody is in your organization and this kind of thing is happening to them, it would affect their productivity. 1,000%, it will affect them. So human resource department, create a sexual harassment policy. If you are in a job, ask them when they ask you, do you have any other questions for us? Maybe at an interview, ask them, do you have sexual harassment policy just in case this happens? Yes, it's part of the question. Do you have sexual harassment policy? So it's for organizations, human resource management, begin to think how to protect their staff. Female members of staff always go through this. Now, seek counsel. I believe in voicing, like I keep saying in all of my videos, voice it out, talk about it, let people hear about it. If I'm in an organization and somebody has voiced out something and God forbid the predator has not yet been apprehended or HR hasn't done anything about it, I'll just call the girl, sister, babe, chick, madam, auntie, please be careful, just know how you do one. I will try to make myself available for the person to run to protect the person. So organizations should actually create safe spaces for young women. They should. And I believe that you can have male allies in an organization. Men can protect other women from this kind of this kind of sexual harassment. A lot of young women and women do not want to date their bosses. They don't want to be entangled with their bosses. They just want to go in there because they have the competence, they have the capacity, they have the character. They just want to go there and give their best, and they want to be professional. But these predators do not let them live. So I am encouraging all of us today. If it is that you're going through this kind of thing, follow my steps. Document it. Speak to somebody. There are fantastic women-led organizations that can come to your help and come to your aid. As long as you know that it is not something that you want, it is against what you stand for, it is not part of your values, this is for you. You can avoid entanglement with your bosses. Show forth your intelligence, show forth your competence, show forth your professionalism. Let it be that if they talk about you in the organization, they know that you are there to deliver 1,000%. So if anybody is saying anything else about you, it won't even fly and it won't stick. That's what I want to talk to us about today. Don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We would always have conversations and talks that can and should lead to action. On to my next video. Look after yourself and each other. God bless.